Hi, my name's Dr. Andrew Callaway. I'm in the Department of Sport and Physical Activity, and I just wanted to take you through how I've been using Panopto to provide formative presentation feedback to some of my students. Just to give you some context, I'm running a final year consultancy unit that sees our students across 2 degree pathways working with a variety of different businesses on different projects. For their assessment, they need to produce a final presentation and report. And with their presentations, this is one of their first units back after placement. And what we noticed was that after placement, some students were lacking in some of these skills because they hadn't done a presentation for quite a while. So what I thought would be a good idea was to add in some formative presentations to try and help them develop or redevelop their skills for their final presentations to the industry partners. So to do this, I wanted to create a workflow to make sure that I could replicate this again next year. I've currently got 25 groups of 6 students, and I'm going up next year to around 25 groups of 6 students. So I wanted to make sure that I prepped way in advance to get this right. So the workflow that I used was create an online questionnaire. That questionnaire was then duplicated so that then I had one for students to fill in so that they could provide peer feedback to their peers, but also an identical one that was conducted by some staff. So we got some staff running the projects with me, and they sit on the presentations, and that way the students get to see our feedback versus their perception of the feedback. So it's good for managing expectations when it comes to the final presentation. I then set up Excel to use conditional formatting so that from the results of those questionnaires, I can copy and paste the results into Excel, and they can then color code a marking rubric, which is exactly the same as they're going to see for their final presentation. Once that's done, save it as a PDF, upload the videos from the presentations to Panopto, and then in the stream setting, I can add a PDF of that Excel file of the rubric. So I'm just going to take you through a step-by-step of how I've done that. So I used Question Pro, which if you want an account, you can talk to IT and request one, but you could use Google Forms or any other that you've got access to, Bristol Online Survey. So in here, I created a custom web link to allow students easy access, easy to find, put that in My View or Brightspace so that they can get that link. Select which group is presenting, just so that then I can find them and separate them later. And in terms of the rubric, none of the questionnaire programs that I've looked at can actually produce a text-based rubric, the same as we would get in Turnitin. So the way a workaround for this was in Excel, you've got your rubric and you put these in as images. So these are individual cut images that we put in for each section of the rubric. That's just so that students get used to it now, staff get used to it now, and it's the best that we could do with the software we have. When they fill that in, that produces an Excel sheet that we can download. And then in Excel, what I did was recreated the rubrics here, so staff feedback, student feedback, so that they can have a comparison at the end to see how their perception of the feedback is versus ours, and any written textual comments that the staff decided to give. Now, in terms of the way that this works, there's 2 tabs at the bottom. The calculation tabs are all the raw data pasted in, so from the staff on the right, students on the left. Calculating the average of those results. So when you set this up, just put the average to be a very large range, more than you're expecting, just to cover it, and put your averages at the top. Because if you put them at the bottom, you don't know where they're going to be by the time you've pasted in your data, and you could overwrite your formula. Once we've created those for staff and students, we can then go back into this rubric, and in each one of these we need to do conditional formatting. So if I go to create a new rule, in Excel we select classic and then select user formula, And in here we're going to say if the cell in calculations, so this one here, equals number 1, then choose my colour. Okay, so the way that I've set this up is that in here, this less than 40% is 1, that is 2, that is 3, that is 4, etc. So I go through each of those boxes and repeat, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for all of these and all of the student ones as well. Once I've done that, the colour coding works with the number changes, so all the calculations are done for me. Now that I've got this set up as a template, I can use that next year with exactly the same formatting and everything, just with more groups. No more work to me. The way that we've done the text comments at the bottom is using this little bit between. So we're saying, look at the text feedback in the staff one, which is in calculations cell R4. Append the text. So that's using the ampersand. And I've put a full stop between as well, just to separate the sentences, and then the next one, and put a full stop between, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So again, with this, at the point of writing this, I have no idea how many staff are going to be present in the presentation. So I've made it more than I think will turn up. And then once I've done that, it compiles all the text from these boxes into here. This is then complete, and in my template of this, I will set the print area to be that area. So file, print area set, and then I can print that as a PDF, and it will only print those cells to a PDF. Then in my BU or Brightspace, I can then create folders and upload the videos. And then once the video is uploaded, if you need help on that, there's a great resource on the Cell website of how to achieve that. And then in here under Streams, I can then upload that PDF. Okay, so choose the file, upload the PDF, and it goes up there. What the students then see is their recording at the top left and the feedback, and they've got control over it as a PDF to zoom in and out. Now, I hope that this has been of some use to you. There are some great tools available, and Panopto really helps the students get a feel for how they're presenting, how it looks, and relating that feedback instantly. I hope this has been some use to you. Thank you for watching.